My name is Maddison and Kibbin. I was born and raised on Honolulu, Hawaii. I went to Punahou High School, ended up going to college at the University of Southern California. Played a little bit of indoor professional volleyball in Greece, and then I've continued my volleyball career on the AVP, the Domestic Beach Volleyball Tour of the US.
My name is Riley McKibbin. I'm born on the island of Oahu in Hawaii, and I started playing beach volleyball when I was about 10 years old. My mom actually taught us. We learned beach volleyball and indoor volleyball together. And yeah, I've been playing for about 2 decades now.
We actually grew up at this beach club called the Outrigger Canoe Club. It's a place where a lot of beach volleyball players played growing up in Hawaii who play on the AVP. So I grew up playing beach volleyball, but because there's no universities for beach volleyball, it's all indoor, all of us ended up playing more indoors.
In the United States at university, there is no beach volleyball, so you can only play indoor volleyball. So my brother and I, we grew up playing in high school, and then we played in college, and then I played overseas in Greece and Italy.
I played professionally indoor for a little bit, and I was actually about to quit playing volleyball. I was done. I had too many injuries, and my brother convinced me to go, hey, let's go home, let's go back and let's play beach volleyball.
My brother and I, we were talking, and we just thought, hey, why don't we make the switch? We'll stop playing indoor volleyball. Let's give the beach a run. At the time, we were growing these large, ridiculous beards. And that was about in 2015, and since then we've just been playing on the beach.
When we transferred back to the beach, all of us kind of knew how to play, so it wasn't that hard. And it's a lot easier on your body, and it's a lot more fun to just be outside rather than in the gym. It's fun to continue to play with your sibling, your brother, and get to travel to places like this and compete. What more could you ask for?
My brother and I, we played in high school and college together, and all throughout that time we weren't allowed to grow beards. It was just like this silly rule that our coach enforced. So right after I graduated college, I went and played in Italy and Greece for 4 years, indoor volleyball, and I decided to grow out my beard just slightly. And then when my brother came, we played in Greece together, and in Greece we decided, hey, let's grow out our beards and just see what it looks like. And that was in 2014. And since then, that year, we decided to stop playing indoor and play on the beach. And by that time, our beards were down to here, even bigger than my brother's beard now. And since then, we've just been known as the Beard Brothers. And it's kind of like a marketing stunt, but now, it's become more than that. It's just a part of our look, a part of our style. And I don't know, our girlfriends aren't the biggest fans of it, but we got no choice. We're the Beard Bros. Well, actually this past year, my brother and I have probably been around the entire Earth about 3 times now. After we complete this trip,
we've traveled to Costa Rica, Vancouver, all for volleyball. We won FIVB gold in snow volleyball in Kronplatz, Italy. We traveled to Patagonia, Argentina, got silver in snow volleyball.
So after this, we're going to Thailand, and then we're going to Qatar, and then I'm going to Turkey. But I think the great thing about beach volleyball is that it has taken us to so many different places on Earth. And honestly, this tournament is far and beyond the most beautiful experience that we've ever had. We just came back from playing snow volleyball on the top of a mountain in northern Italy, and I think this trumps this. And I think this tournament trumps our tournament in Kronplatz.
Honestly, to come to places like this, the Maldives, Furaveri Resort, and play right here till the sun goes down, that's something very few people get to do, and I think something that's incredibly memorable. So we found out about this tournament through some friends. That would be Charlie and Katie with Thailand Beach Volleyball, and then Cord Biggs, who runs Cord Biggs Productions. We had known them through the volleyball community, and they had asked us about this. And we jumped at the opportunity to play in a tournament in the Maldives, you know, the first annual presidential international beach volleyball tournament. It was, you know, when I first saw it, and I first saw pictures, I was skeptical. I was like, this is too good to be true. Too good to be true, someone has to be lying. But we were like, if this is at all possible, we're in. And so that's how it first came to be, and I have zero regrets about it.
I knew the Maldives was an exotic place, a bunch of islands. What I didn't know is that it was just south of India. For some strange reason, I thought it was in the Polynesian triangle, or like somewhere in the Pacific. And I initially didn't look at where the Maldives were because I thought I knew where it was. And then when I did see where it was, I was astounded. I had no idea that just south of Italy, there was 1,200 islands with 200 resorts. I mean, it was a really cool knowing that I was going to play volleyball in the Indian Ocean.
I had always heard about the Maldives. This is like the place where you grow up dreaming of coming to too. And I grew up in Hawaii, and I dreamed about coming to places like this. Like when we first flew in and saw all the atolls and the reefs, and then it drops off into the blue, like that's something that you dream about.
The contrast of the super white sand, and then the crystal clear light blue, and then the super dark deep blue of the ocean, mixed with the super green island. I mean, just that combination of colors is incredibly beautiful, and like something that I think is unique to this area and probably even the world. I've never seen anything or heard of anything like it.
So I did do a little bit of research, because I think for us, when we come to a place, we want to know a little bit of its history, and Wikipedia only gives you so much information. So we've met a lot of Maldivian people who have been some of the nicest people we've met out of all the places we've traveled to. And I've learned a little bit about your history, and I've seen a little bit about your guys' culture, and it is incredible. It's fascinating.
So my brother and I, we make YouTube videos, and one idea that we had for a YouTube video would be to play on a super secluded island, just exactly like this. And it's funny because we thought of this, I don't know, about a year ago, and it was always just like this outlandish dream. And then now that we're here, it actually came true. I mean, the place is beautiful. The sand is like so clean. We have this amazing ocean right here with a bunch of fish and manta rays. I mean, it almost seems like it's not real life.
And I've done this every morning. Get up, walk outside of our hotel room, walk straight into the water, put on a snorkel, and just go. Like, I mean, the fish are just as friendly as the people. It's crazy. The accommodation here is second to none. I walk, you know, I don't know, yards to meters, but I walk 50 yards from our hotel that has a pool to these courts. Like the accommodations, the aesthetics, the ambiance, the environment, even the people, like it doesn't get, I can say definitively it doesn't get better than this. So, I mean, just to give you a little bit of background, you have 3 teams from the U.S. In the Chicago Open, we finished 5th in the U.S. You know, in the Hermosa Beach Open, one of the most prestigious tournaments, Andy Benish and Adam Roberts, a team that is here, they finished 5th. And these are the best teams in the United States. Then you have Dave McKenzie, who played on the national team for the USA team. I think he won a national championship at Long Beach, has always been on the beach for the AVP, who's done well for the past 15 years. And then Rafi Paulus, who is someone who's always been in the main draw of the AVP tournament, like, I can speak to the USA teams. They're all very good, and they all can compete with the best teams in the United States. So on that level, they're really good. And then I use that as a benchmark. You know, two of the Maldivian teams have played all those teams extremely close. They're an extremely good team. We had to play a team from Slovenia, who I think is a little bit older, but they're still in their prime, and they're older guys who understand the game probably more so than a younger generation. So, I mean, talking about the teams that I've seen and the teams that we've played, this is a very high-level tournament, incredibly high-level tournament, and I'm surprised. I mean, to get all these teams out here in the Maldives on these two courts, that's impressive.
The Maldivian players, they're good, they're young, and they have a lot of potential. And I think it's really exciting to see because this whole tournament is about growth of this sport in the Maldives. There's a lot of upside, there's a lot of potential, and you guys have the athletes. I think it's an exciting time for beach volleyball in the Maldives.
You know, it's funny because a lot of people would say that height is a very important thing, but you see a lot of teams, even on the world tour, who aren't the tallest guys and who get it done, and they're extremely athletic to do the job. And like I said, they're playing some of the better teams from the United States, and they're playing them extremely close. I told them I hope I don't play them in the quarters or semis or anything like that, but I think they are good. But I think that the sport needs to succeed from the youth, because if you have the youth, then comes the money, and then hopefully financial support for the players who want to, you know, take their game to the next level. And I know that's a mission that the Maldivian volleyball veterans are trying to do, and I think that's the right way of going about it. Allures of beach volleyball is it's a lifestyle sport. You know, it has to be, I mean, I think one of the biggest selling points of beach volleyball is it needs to be played in a beautiful place. And then people will come and people will be entertained. Like I've put my drone up like 6 times and I'm just like, the shots here are incredible. So I think having that aesthetic coupled with a beach volleyball tournament is, I think it's gonna be a hard thing for them to deny.
Maldives is so far away from where I live, and the entire trip took about 40 hours. So it's hard to get to the Maldives from the United States. But all that being said, now that I have been here, I would easily come back in a heartbeat.
I hope we're invited back. I really want to be invited back. Maybe I'm showing my cards too early, but we would love to come back. And I hope for the future of beach volleyball in the Maldives, I hope for you guys that you guys can have another tournament. And this does turn out to be a success.